Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And today I am so excited to introduce you guys to the new vinyl collection, which is a collaboration between me and Auntie Tay. Look at this, it's got my name on there with Auntie Tay. This is a patterned vinyl collection available on both adhesive vinyl and heat transfer vinyl. I'll have a discount code for these as well as a link on where you can find them down below in the description box. But look at how beautiful these patterns were. When they asked me to do this, I was just so taken aback and honored that I even got the opportunity. But look at how beautiful. So we've got Leopard is a neutral, Let It Rip, Love Jess. This is FS Garden. This is such a favorite of mine because it reminds me of like my older branding that I had when I first got started. This is FST Floral because you know you grow some hot tea. So cute. This is Enough Chit Chat. Love that. This is Head in the Clouds, which is a beautiful watercolor kind of marble moment. But whatever. This is a dark purple floral, beautiful. And then I've got Antique Rose, which reminds me of like a lime wash wall, lots of different texture in there, so beautiful. And all of these patterns work together so well. One of my first vinyl wrap videos was with Auntie Tay adhesive vinyl, and I just love how it stretches and moves on a cup. I think you guys are gonna love these too. So go ahead and check them out. We are going to be using some of these patterns in this video, and I wanted to give you guys some design inspiration. We did launch this product back in July 1st, and so now that some of you have your hands on it, I wanted to show you some project ideas. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, you're going to find all these products down below in the description box, as well as some discount codes. So that's enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so here's the patterns we're going to be using today. We're going to be using Leopard as a neutral, Let It Rip, Antique Rose, and FS Garden. I will have a link on where you can find these patterned vinyls down below in the description box. And again, these are permanent adhesive vinyls that are already printed. They're absolutely beautiful. And we're going to start with a cup that we've already prepped to sand. This is a 30-ounce skinny straight from Craft Haven, so it has no taper, which is going to make this job really easy. We're going to start by measuring from top to bottom. So we want to know the exact length of our cup. And then once we're sure on the length, we're going to divide that length by 4 because we want to have 4 stripes on our cup. Since I'm really bad at math, I'm going to use my calculator for this. And the measurement was actually 9.5 inches. So we measured 9.5 inches, divided that by 4, and that is the width of each one of our stripes. So I'm just going to use my ruler and I'm going to mark every 2.3 inches down my cup. And then I'm also going to double check to make sure that all 4 of those sections are equal before we get started. All right, and after I've marked my cup every 2.3 inches, I'm going to get out my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut strips of vinyl at the same width. So we want vinyl that is cut at 12 by 2.3 inches. And I'm just going to do a test run around the cup to make sure that everything would line up nicely before I cut the remaining strips. All right, and once we've got all our strips cut, I want to make a straight line on the cup from top to bottom. This straight line is what's going to help me guide my vinyl and line it up straight so that when it goes around, it's all going to come together nicely. So I'm going to make a little point with my Sharpie marker at the top and bottom of the cup using my square combo ruler, just to make sure I've got a perfectly straight line there. And then I'll take a strip of washi tape And this is just super thin washi tape that I'm going to apply at the top and bottom of my cup with those marks that we made. So what we're trying to do is establish a guide from the top to the bottom of the cup to line our vinyl up on. So here's a close-up. And when we go to apply our vinyl, I'm just going to peel back like 1 inch of the paper backing from my vinyl. And we want to keep that paper backing on for as long as we can. So first thing I like to do is, just put down about 1 inch of my vinyl there to start as an anchor, and then slowly move around the cup. And I don't remove any of that paper backing until I know that I am on the right track and have my vinyl lined up straight as I'm applying it. You can kind of see my technique here as you watch the video, what I'm doing. Like, I'm just slowly pulling back that paper backing with one hand and smoothing out with another, using the top rim of the cup as my guide to ensure that I'm moving in a straight line. All right, and then once we get to the end here, I'm just going to peel back that overlap and use my craft knife to remove just the amount of washi tape from that section that we're working on. We want to keep the remainder of the washi tape on so we can use it to line up the rest of our patterns. We're just going to trim off that one piece from the top, as you can see here. Then I'm going to push that overlap of vinyl into the bottom portion, I guess, to reveal the seam. That's where we're going to trim off the excess, okay? And using a really sharp craft knife, we're just going to really carefully trim right up next to that indented seam there. You could kind of see through the vinyl where that bottom piece of vinyl starts. We're going to just trim right up next to that. And that's how we're going to finish off that section of vinyl. We're going to repeat that same process all the way through for all 4 sections of vinyl. Okay, so again, we just line up the first piece of our vinyl, or the first edge, with that washi tape line that we created as our guide. We're going to remove only the first inch of paper backing, like you see here, to line it up. And then we'll slowly remove the paper backing as we go, using now the bottom of the first piece of vinyl as our guide to make sure that we stay on track. Okay, and again, we're just going to repeat that through all 4 sections all the way down our cup. All right, and then when we get to this bottom section, because the bottom rim of our cup is a little bit curved, you're going to notice that you're getting a little bit of wrinkling down there at the bottom of your vinyl, and that's okay. Just do your best to keep everything as smooth as you can, like you did for the remaining 3 sections, and then we'll tackle those wrinkles when we get towards the end. You do kind of want to try and smooth them out as you go, but don't worry too much if you're not able to. Really what you want to do is, once you get that vinyl on there and you got the excess trimmed, you're just going to try and pull that excess vinyl over the rim there to smooth it out. That's going to really help you, get out any of those wrinkles. And don't worry if you can't get them all out, because we're going to mostly trim that off and finish it up at the end. So don't stress yourself out too much. Don't forget to take that remaining little piece of washi tape out there that we used as our guide. Once you get to the end, and again, we're just going to overlap our vinyl and trim at the seam with our craft knife. Also going to trim up any kind of excess along that bottom rim with my craft knife, just to kind of clean it up and make sure everything's nice and tidy. All right, and now we're ready to add our washi tape details. I'm using the Paper Studio washi tape that I got from Hobby Lobby. This is the glittered one, and normally I would want to epoxy over vinyl before adding these kind of details, just so you don't see any seams from the vinyl popping through that washi tape. However, since I'm using this textured glittered one over the seam of my vinyl, it's not going to be as noticeable. You're not going to see those seams because you do have that glittered texture. So I just went for it. I put it right over my vinyl, which made everything so easy, saved me some time. Okay, and we're just lining the seams of our vinyl with this glittered washi tape, like you see here, trimming off the excess with our craft knife. Okay. And then once I've got all the seams covered with this glittered washi tape, I'm going to take a smooth metallic one from a different set of washi tape that I have, and I'm just going to line the edges of that glittered washi tape. Okay, just to add some like interest and dimension. Again, if you wanted to use vinyl for this instead, you totally could. Just be aware if you were using like a chrome or metallic vinyl over those vinyl seams, you may see, you know, some of those seams peeking through. So you might want to consider epoxying first before doing that. But anyway, just, you know, lining the edges of that glittered washi tape, and we're going to repeat that process all the way down our cup, cutting the excess with our craft knife once we get to the end. All right, and once we're all done with those beautiful washi tape details, I want to just trim up any excess vinyl from my top rim to get everything looking nice and neat. And it's okay to expose a little bit of the stainless steel up there at the top. We're going to want to have that when we apply our final coats of epoxy, because that will be what establishes our seal for this cup. So you want to, you know, trim down as much as you can up along that top rim. And because I don't trust this washi tape to lay flat under epoxy, I am going to seal it first with some Quick Coat. I'm using Quick Coat from counterculturediy.com. Again, that's Quick Coat from counterculturediy.com. You guys always ask me where I get this stuff. You can easily find it on their website by searching Quick Coat on counterculturediy.com. This is a water-based urethane sealer. It is not epoxy. Okay. And after we apply that, I'm just going to let it dry for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'm going to apply my first layer of epoxy. And I let this first layer dry for about 4 to 6 hours. And then I came back and applied a second coat of epoxy right after, because I did want to get it nice and smooth before we moved on to this step. So I let that second coat dry for about 12 hours before we moved on. All right, so now my cup has 2 coats of epoxy on it, and I'm gonna get a length of painter's tape and take a little bit of the sticky off with my fingers here. And we're going to mask off the very bottom of our cup. We wanna try and get this in a nice straight line. Part of the reason why I used a white pattern at the bottom was because it was going to make the finishing of my cup a lot easier, so I could just spray paint this bottom white. It's going to match nicely. Super, super simple, okay? So again, we're just masking off the bottom of our cup with as straight a line as we possibly can with our masking tape. Okay, we're going to mask off the remainder of our cup with saran wrap. And then we're going to spray paint the bottom of our cup with Rust-Oleum flat white spray paint. And the reason why we're spray painting after we've put a couple layers of epoxy on there is so that it gives a nice smooth finish to the bottom, rather than just looking like I spray painted the bottom of my cup and seeing all those ridges and things like that. It makes for a nice smoother finish, and it helps to blend the bottom of that vinyl better into the design of the cup. Okay, so I just spray painted the bottom there, let it dry thoroughly. Okay, and then I'm going to apply my decal. I'm using a design from AntiqueDay.com. This is part of her membership SVGs that you can get. I'll show you where you can get those down below in the description box. But it's just this cute XOXO. I've already cut and layered my vinyl. I'm using a glittered rose gold vinyl, also from shopantitay.com. I will link that below as well. All right, and then I already peeled back the paper backing from my decal ahead of time to make sure that this transferred without drama once I got it on my cup. And this particular vinyl that I'm working with, it's a little bit thicker. If you guys end up getting the same vinyl, you're gonna wanna cut it on like a glitter HTV setting with more pressure. So if you're using a Cricut, set it to the glittered HTV setting with more pressure. Okay, and I wanted to apply my vinyl decal kind of down below and a little off center just for something different and unique. Loved how this turned out, and so now we're just applying our final coats of epoxy. I did apply 2 coats of epoxy over this just to get everything nice and smooth. And that was it. We were done. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you thought in the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a new video. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you can check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.